Quick gut punch. Most people are one flat tire away from panic. Around 6 in 10 live paycheck to paycheck. About a third would struggle to cover a $400 surprise. The average new car payment hovers near $700. And credit card APRs lurk around the 20s. I know, I am fun at parties. Today, we will map the scary stats, then flip them into simple moves you can do this week. Warm tea, cold facts, and a plan you will actually use. Why this matters. Tiny percentages rule your life. A 20% credit card rate can double a balance in a few years if you coast. A 5% savings rate barely moves the needle. But a 15 to 20% savings rate invested can flip your trajectory. Time either compounds stress or peace. You choose which side gets the runway. Good news. You do not need to be a spreadsheet wizard. The average outcome is driven by a few levers. How much leaves on autopilot to savings and investing? How big your fixed bills are, especially housing and car. How quickly you kill high-interest debt. Nudge those, and average becomes above average without living like a monk. Thesis in one sentence. Make the default path the rich path, and let compound interest do the heavy lifting. I will show you how to set that default, even if your budget feels like a raccoon in a pantry. Here is the model we will use. Inputs: income, fixed costs, variable spending, interest rates. Switches: auto transfers, debt order, and investment choice. Outputs: net worth trend, monthly stress, and time to goals. We will draw it once, then run a couple scenarios through it. Meet average Alex. Take home pay about $4,500 a month. Rent $1,500. Car payment $700. Insurance, gas, and parking add another $300. Groceries $600. Subscriptions and fun $300. Credit card balance $6,000 at a painful rate, paying $180 a month. Savings account holds $2,000. Most months end with a shrug and a negative 20. Baseline mechanics. If Alex saves 5%, that is about $225 a month. Over 30 years at a plain 5% return, that can grow near $187,000, which is nice but not freedom. At 20%, about $900 a month, the same math lands near $750,000. Same person, different default. The savings rate does most of the heavy lifting. Rules of thumb to steer by. Housing under 30% of take-home. Transport all in under 15%. Start with 1 month cash buffer. Build to 3 to 6. Minimum 10% to investing as soon as the high-rate debt is controlled, and always grab employer match first. And keep monthly debt payments under 36% of income. Risks and constraints. Job loss, medical bills, rate hikes. A car that pretends it is a pet and needs feeding. Guardrails help. Keep a starter emergency fund. Favor fixed rates over variable. Carry the right insurance. Park big one-time costs in sinking funds so they do not nuke your month. This is not fear, it is seatbelts for your money. Let us run the credit card math. Alex owes $6,000 at 24% APR. Pay only the minimum, roughly 2%, and it can drag on for more than a decade and cost thousands in interest. Pay $300 a month flat, and it finishes in about 2 years with around $1,600 in interest. Do a 0% transfer with a 3% fee, then $300 a month, and you finish in about 20 months, paying the $180 fee instead of interest. Rough math, real relief. Alternatives and trade-offs. Avalanche versus snowball debt payoff. Avalanche saves the most interest by targeting highest rate first. Snowball builds momentum by killing the smallest balance first. Renting keeps flexibility, but rent can rise. Buying fixes your payment, but adds maintenance. Cash buffer in a high-yield account is safe, but returns are modest. Investing earns more, but swings. Pick based on your risk tolerance and time horizon. Implementation, the default way. Open a high-yield savings account. Set an automatic transfer for the day after payday. Enroll in your workplace plan and capture the full match. List debts with rates, pick Avalanche or Snowball, and set fixed payments higher than the minimums. Call one bill to negotiate a lower rate. Small tweaks, set once, run forever. Defaults for common choices. Use a target date index fund in tax-advantaged accounts when in doubt. Set savings at 10% to start. Auto-escalate 1% every quarter until you hit 20%. Keep car total cost under 15% of take-home and aim to own it for at least 6 years. Keep 3 separate buckets: bills, buffer, and fun money, so you do not rob the plan for pizza. Pitfalls and fixes. Lumpy expenses wreck smooth months. Solve with a sinking fund calendar. Lifestyle creep eats raises. Counter with auto-increasing savings before you see the money. Subscription leaks hide in plain sight. Do a quarterly audit. And if you binge spend online, add a 24-hour cart rule. Your future self will send cookies. Recap and a tiny mission. Most people are fragile because defaults are sloppy. Flip the defaults. Shrink fixed costs, automate saving and investing, and crush high-rate debt with intention. Your 24-hour mission: open a high-yield savings account, move $50, list your debts with rates, and schedule 1 call to lower a bill. Momentum beats perfection. If this reframed money for you, subscribe, like, and share to help a friend hit their first 20K. I linked a playlist you will love. We do this every day. Juno out. See you tomorrow.